Hi friends, welcome back to my channel. Thank you for being here today. I hope you're all doing well. I have another flip through to share today, and yeah, I've been working a lot on my journals lately, and this journal will also be for sale, and I'm also going to list it down in my Etsy shop, so I will put the link down below as always. And I don't know if you can see, but I did kind of a soft cover version of the Blue Nostalgia junk journal that I shared with you last week, I believe it was. So the concept is exactly the same. I'm using a lot of scrappy elements that are handmade. There are no digitals in this journal. I'll try to use up my my stash. And actually, I thought about making a series on how to create a very simple journal like this one. So let me know in the comments if you'd like that. Definitely be making some craft with me's videos, and I wanted to start off with this kind of series, creating this type of journal. And I think I'm going to do it like step by step. So one video for example, picking the pages, like how I choose my pages for this specific journal and how I like to make them more interesting. And then another video would be how I create scrappy elements using magazine pages or maybe fabric scraps. I'm also thinking about making another kind of color theme. Because I made two blue theme journals, I thought about making some sort of more of a fall-ish type of journal. So why not a fall nostalgia book like this one? So let me know if that's something you'd like to see. I will start to create that, I think, next week, because I do have a few things to finish first. I have been starting Christmas crafts. I don't know about you guys, but I'm always getting so excited about Christmas. I'm just going to open this journal and do a rather quick flip through. As I mentioned, this is the Blue Nostalgia soft cover version. So what I did is to take kind of a file folder, manila folder I think you call them, and just fold it in half. So you need kind of a sturdy paper, but not the type of paper that tear, you know, like scrapbooking paper sometimes do. They tear it when you fold them in half. So this needs to be a little like foldable, I guess. And then I just reinforced the spine as always. And I made this collage using only scraps of fabrics that I had. So I wanted this to be as messy as the other one, in the way it is sewn, and the way that the clusters are made and the ephemera. So here we have some, this is actually some very beautiful fabric that Maria shared with me in an old Happy Mail. And so I've been hoarding that a little bit. And yeah, I used a piece here, and there's some ticking, this one is dyed, I think it's eco-dyed lace fabric. This is antique cotton, and then just some random like cotton pieces of fabrics. I did put a few things in the strings because I kind of cut them too long. Like I cut them too long, so I just added some trinkets that I had laying around that could fit the theme, like a cup of coffee, tea, and then there's this cufflink, I believe it's vintage, and then this bicycle, charm. If you don't like it, you can just cut the end of the string. It's using the French ticking, and as you can see, it's very like scrappy. Nothing is straight. well, except for the pocket. So yeah, inside the pocket I just tucked this authentic piece of handwritten, was actually taken from a notary deed. I believe this one is vintage, not antique. So I thought it was nice for collaging. And then I just used some scraps from my scrap bin. I have a few actually, and it's more like drawers. So I used some scrapbooking papers, scraps, and then some book pages scraps, envelopes, and then some fabric remnants. I backed it. I've been coffee staining a lot of things lately, so I've been using pieces throughout my latest journal. And then just to add some interest, I like to put some magazine images. Actually, I wanted to show you in this video how I organize my my images cutouts is by using like a box. This one came from the Happy Mail from Maria. So I'm using this one, and I just put some folders inside, and then each folder has some dividers that I made with some. I found an acetate sheet pack in my local thrift shop, so I just brought it back home and made these little pockets. I followed a tutorial. I will try to put the link if I can find it again. It's quite it's not a recent video, I believe, but sometimes I'm just using some regular these are old, you know what these are. I don't remember the name, but and I sort them through like by theme. So for example, let's just say I have a religious theme, and then I have this one is about quilted things because I love quilted fabric, and sometimes like I've already come across some quilting magazines, so I'm just cutting out images and even borders sometimes of pages, and I'm just keeping this right here. And then we have all things related to, I guess, like Brocante and old stuff. Great for making journaling cards. Look at this image, it's so pretty. And yeah, you can just back it and create an ephemera with it. I have the flower folder so I have larger sheets here, and some of these come from magazines and some from pages from books, I mean. And then we have some cutouts, and yeah, so this is animals and gardening, terrace, and places, cooking, and yeah, a lot of stuff like that. Let's get back to the flip through, and I added this antique. It was a book about music. I added 2 sheets, and so I just wanted to show you this system because it works very well for me. And if you're interested, I can make a video about how I sort my stuff. This was just a glance at it because yeah, it would take a whole video to show you. The first page is taken from ledger book, sorry. This one I believe is antique. Yeah, it's from the 20s. And then this is one page from a magazine. It says Brocante, so I love the old, the nostalgic element to it with all the beautiful old things. And this is the first little cluster that I made using some scrap pieces from books. This is a piece from Your Creative Studio that I tore, some scrapbooking paper, and then these are images cut out. And actually these 2 came from a different magazine. Like we have a little butterfly within the frame, and then the bird cage. And then some random pieces of ephemera. This is from a sewing pattern. And then we have some handmade paper that I embossed. This is another page from this magazine, and I glued two sides and then just sewn around to make it a little more interesting. Now this is part of a postcard album. It's a page. It's really old. I don't know if you can see, but there are some birds here and roses. It's really beautiful. This is these plates from Redoute. And yeah, just an image from a book about his work. Little journaling card. There's a postcard here. A vintage playing card. I just stapled it and created a little tuck spot for this handmade journaling card. This came from a magazine, and I just backed it with some scrapbooking paper and added a little. Sometimes I don't want to throw away like the the small images, even though I'm not sure what to do with them. And in that case, I thought I would just take all these little pieces and just put them on the back of my handmade journaling cards and ephemera to add a little something. But I love this image. A little piece of, this is the last piece of this wallpaper that I had. And have some writing space. These pages are tea-dyed, I believe. Another page for writing. And then, we have this cluster tuck that I made. Again, there are different layers of, this is a punch negative piece, and then we have part of a letter, vintage letter, and some scrapbooking paper, some map paper, and then this was a cutout. And so this was in my flower folder section in the box. And there are some artwork. This is handmade journal lady with holding a baby, like a baby dog. It's so pretty. So I had this cut out. I'm really fussy cutting out everything and anything, and I just want it to go to waste. It's already printed, and I don't know, sometimes you have nice and fun images, so I just put it on the back of this card. On this side we have those scrappy belly band, and so in one of the videos that I'm planning to make, I will be making a few of these with you. And inside the band, this is a plate from actually an antique book about French landscapes and landmarks plates. We have an authentic ephemera piece and then a handmade journaling card. Again, just cutting. I had this image, and there's nothing really I can do about it, like with it, except for making some tiny embellishments. So other pieces of Sigita's rusted, coffee dyed, and heavily grunged up papers. I glued this image from an art magazine. This is from a French antique almanac. And then we have a journaling card, just a simple journaling card that came from a scrapbooking paper pad. And I just added this French blue stamp. So when you have paper clips, and this one is a hair clip, but if you have these things on the side, you can always add a little piece of scrap fabric or ribbon, just to add a little something. These are the quilted fabric images that I have, and I just like the blue against these other hues, the blue hues. So also trying to use up my cardstock. I had some blue ones, so I backed this one with it. And then we have a little pocket here that I sewn onto this. This is actually a junk mail, and I coffee stained the envelope. This picture came from a book about fabric samples. So, and then, so it's a pocket, and then I have this beautiful image. I love it. Oops, sorry about that. And I didn't back it because there's also this side that I really like. Tuck spot here using scraps again, and then this fussy cutout of this old horse. And added some of these calendar pages. I just like the colors of this one. Love this picture. I think it's so pretty. This came from a book, and it's a book about photographs, old photographs. I just love this one so much. And just a piece of, you know, scrap fabric. I think you call hinge when you put two pieces of paper together. Like, I think that's the name. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I did hinge this paper with using some map paper and some packaging paper as well. This is another photograph. Here we have another tuck spot that I made out of scraps, and on top of that I glued this clock down, and that actually came from like a home design magazine. Yeah, Audrey Hepburn. In a movie, I don't remember the name of the movie, but maybe you will. And so made it into a little journaling card. This came from an art magazine, and I just love it. Kind of like the back as well, so it's more scrappy. I just left it as is. This page, I think it's fun. This is some music sheets, a tuck that I made. Again, I've used some images from home decor magazines. This one, this beautiful one, made into a journaling spot. And then here I had this in my stash, like this sleeve, like I guess a shirt sleeve. And everything, it has some stains, but everything was washed, so it's not dirty. But I had no idea what to do with it, and I don't even know where it comes from. So I just decided to sew it right onto this page and create a little tuck. And then I also had this brush, this brush that I've used for, I don't know, apparently to use white paint or gesso, and it's really stiff. It was just laying around, and I thought, okay, this could go well with the theme, and I'm just tucking it in here. But of course you can remove that. But I just thought it was a nice touch, and you can actually put something else like a pencil or just, you know, a tag. Another of Sigita's rusted papers. Love it. And this is a handmade card, and I don't know if you saw the first flip through of the hardcover Blue Nostalgia junk journal, but there was this picture of this lady wearing a piece of, like, a work of art that was a dress made out of book spine for a corset, and then all sorts of things, and yeah, I guess that was from the same article. And I just added this flower. This was just some linen that I coffee stained, and I've made some roses, like some flowers with it. This came from an art magazine, and I love the artwork from the lady. Unfortunately, I don't have her name. I must have cut it out. But yeah, I love it, and I didn't want to alter the design. I just created a little tuck spot with some random pieces of ephemera that I had laying around my desk. A piece of handmade paper. This is another of these belly bands, scrappy belly bands. This is a journaling card. You can hear one of my cats behind playing with something on the ground. I made other kind of rosettes, like flowers with this trim, this denim trim, and I just made a scrappy pocket and added, this one has a blue hue to the photographs. So thought it was fitting. And then I added this piece of scrapbooking paper, so you can actually tuck something, you know, your photographs, and yeah, I thought it was fun to add. I'm going to add a lot of these in my Christmas journals this year, so that whoever wants them can actually record their, like put their like family pictures and stuff like that. Antique book page. This is part of one of Sigita's papers. Made a paper ruffle. This was one of the cutouts that I had no idea what to do with except gluing it down, I guess. And then this is another book page that, you know, I glued back to back and then sewn around. This one I made two pockets out of, and inside the pockets you have some coffee dyed index card, and of course a little die cut here, I guess, and then some random pieces of ephemera. And we have a scrappy tuck spot. This frame I also fussy cut out a long time ago. There are some books cutouts as well, and I just like the colors together. This came from a sewing book. This one actually was English, I think. And then I had this image that I created a ephemera with. This is a really scrappy, I guess, tag. And then beautiful pages from a French missal. Sorry if you can hear one of my cats. I made a few more of these playing cards clusters. So this one is a tuck spot, and I added this vintage 1958 French invoice. This is just a journaling card that I made. Oh yeah, I used some, I have a lot of postcards. I get them a lot when I buy lots on internet, on eBay or stuff like that, and usually they're all very ugly. I just use the back of it. So in this case I covered it with this vintage wallpaper. This is the middle of the signature, and this was a book about French traditions. So yeah, then just sewn some scrap pieces again. There's this little tuck spot. No, it's not a tuck spot actually, it's more of a decorative thing. But I love these little bears. And then I tucked this very old piece of women's magazine. It was Embroideries magazine. We have this little scrappy element here, and then just a journaling card that I found in my stash, and then this image. And I will let the future owner of this journal pick the image they prefer. I think I like this one better, so that's why I put it this way. We have a little tuck here, and I put a piece of French 19th century notary deed for a wedding. It has the stamps. It's written on rag paper. It's really beautiful. A handmade journaling card, I guess. I actually sewed the piece onto scrap pieces of, it was some writing paper from a hotel. It's vintage, and yeah, it's just a nice journaling spot. And then I love this image on the back. Pocket. This is handmade paper. You can use it for your collaging. and then a very old book page. I don't remember where I got this from. Well, it's written, it's from Le Cordon Bleu, so I guess it's from cooking magazine, and this one is antique. I love this image too, it's really pretty. And then I made this tuck spot using this image. Also love this one. And I just used this, came with a like a calendar booklet or something. I just punched a hole and put a scrap pieces of kind of ribbon. When you have some leftovers of fabrics, you can create those scrappy elements, but you can also just, you know, put some tabs to add a little something on the sides. Little handmade ephemera. Vintage photographs. These are children's photographs from the 40s. And then I love this image too. It's a little bit shabby, this one. I put this one also like a fussy cutout, but again, I don't know what I was thinking I would do with that. It's just been there for years, to be honest, and so I thought it was time to just do something with it. Some collage bits. And then here I just added a few, like 2 buttons onto this page, a little scrap piece for collaging. This is very fragile. This is, well, actually I'm not gonna remove it, but it's like an antique sheet music leaflet. I made this scrappy belly band, so you have some like various elements, and then I added this fussy cutout, and then this little kind of bow thingy. Again, tuck spot, scrappy tuck spot. A little, this is Tim Holtz paper, and again I used this punch to create a tuck for photographs. This is the other side of the black and white photograph page. I love this one too, with all the shoes. And on this side I made an additional writing spot, so you can write. This is the other side of the envelope. Just sewn a piece here to kind of make it longer. Some random pieces of ephemera. This is a vintage postcard from the 70s. A scrappy belly band, and then we have this beautiful journaling card. So, another postcard from Obvious State, the company that I was talking about in my last video. And then, yeah, coming to the end. This is a little scrappy booklet, just like the one I made for the other Blue Nostalgia journal. This was backing some carte de visite photographs. So just like the blue and make journaling card again. Another of these quote postcards. This one is from James Joyce. And then a little scrappy kind of tuck. Made a little tag with it. And this was a postcard about like a Brocante fair, I guess, something like that, or maybe, yeah, something like that. And this is just a flip out. And this is the end with the last pocket. I just stapled this ribbon here. I made this big journaling card, and this is using a postcard that wasn't really pretty. And that's the back. So this journal is going to be for sale. I will try to put it right after I post this video. And yeah, I think the next video that I will be filming is a Christmas album, because I've been working on them for quite some time actually. And then the next one I'll be preparing the project of creating one journal like this one with the fall nostalgia theme. So I hope you enjoyed the flip through. If you did, please, that would be great if you like the video. That would be awesome. And thank you so much for watching, for being here with me. And I will see you in my next video. Bye bye.